Hey, what's going on out there, everybody? This is Sammy Leggett here representing TeamJVS, here to give you guys a review for the upcoming original film in Blonde. This is based around a fictional it's a dramatified version that chronicles her life of Norma Jean to transition into Marilyn Monroe. That's what Blonde is based around. Ana de Armas plays the role of Marilyn Monroe, but really she's playing a dual role. Technically, it feels like it's three people. I'll break down why I say that, but she is the lead, and there's a lot of other actors here, a lot of other ones that I could easily talk about. But the truth of the matter is, they are second fiddle to everything she's doing. There's Adrian Brody is in this. He plays one of Marilyn Monroe's husbands, but Ana de Armas, the way that she basically sucks in what the essence of Marilyn Monroe's struggle, talent, and raw emotion is everything about this film. Down to the character interactions, down to the mannerisms, and it's crazy to me because what they do in a great transitional standpoint is they'll show like her at a premiere, right? And they'll show her actually recreating these scenes, recreating the same exact attire and everything, and playing it to a T, and then transition to exactly what is going on. Now, I think this is based on a novel that's based on Marilyn Monroe. I don't know if they fictionalized a lot of the information. I do know that I think that there was a history of mental illness that she had to deal with. I don't know how factual the situation is with her family or her lack of her relationship with her dad, as well as her issues with her mom on a mental level. But I'm just gonna go off the facts on what I actually saw. So as far as the performance is concerned, the reason why I say that I feel like Ana de Armas is playing three different characters. She's playing Norma Jean. Norma Jean is the character you start off with. She's battling a lot. She's dealing with a lot of emotional scars and trauma, and she's quick to not be able to be stable because of the situation when she was very young. Then she plays Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe is a byproduct created to be able to deal with everything that she needs to do to be in the limelight, to be able to reach something closer to me, based on the film, like getting closer to her father in some way, shape, or form, or reaching certain plateaus to get closer and closer and closer to that dream. And then the third is whatever is in between and whatever is everything outside, because she can't be Norma Jean because Norma has got too much trauma and she can't maintain herself. Marilyn Monroe is identified as the thing that she needs to survive as well as to use her career. But everything in the middle is the humanity, is the need for companionship, the need for a baby, the need for likability or understanding, perfectionism, like inconsistencies, all those different things that mark up a normal human. Like, she's playing that as well. And I think that's like her performance easily is Oscar worthy. Like, her performance is amazing. It's astounding. The other thing that I'm gonna say as a positive with this is the cinematography. I'm gonna tell you, whoever did the cinematography for this should get an Oscar nomination. They have so many shots. Like, how I knew it was crazy is in the very beginning, there's a fire that's going on in California early on in Norma's life, taking a drive down with her mom, and the camera, I kid you not, is just faced just like this as they're driving, and it focuses and hones on them, and then it goes and sweeps around and goes to the back. And I was like, this is amazing. So many other scenes. There's a scene where Marilyn Monroe is like in the bathroom puking, and the puke goes and hits the camera as it's in the actual toilet. There's a transitional scene that happens where she's under the influence, and she doesn't know the transition between being on a plane, being at a theater, to being with someone else, to getting back. And it almost literally feels like a dream. But you can tell, you can read between the lines what just happened and what's transpiring, how and why. Even down to when very, very early on, some of the iconography, some of the shots, the still shots of people just kind of like, there's a moment where you can look at her and she's just dead in her eyes. And then she switches it and the camera, like the lighting as well as the camera moves just slightly to hint that I don't know that there's schizophrenia going on. But the way that Ana plays it, it's astounding. Like the two things that I can say is that the cinematography is some of the best I've ever seen, and her performance is easily one of the best I've seen this year. There are times where it kind of goes, it feels like it's fleeting or it's too much, but I think that she's just in it. Now, I'm gonna talk about the flaws. The flaws in it for me is that everyone around her, I couldn't even empathize for them because the way that the story is told is everybody's out for blood. Everybody's a vulture. Like, it's not one character. Even there's a character named Whitey that's consistently around her. He's the one that's supplying her drugs. Like, it's kind of like, even with the movie Elvis, I know I can pick out a few people that's like in this person's corner. And it's kind of like the way they perpetuate it is that she had absolutely no one, even down to certain husbands. Like certain husbands, it was kind of like, you know what, like I know they're dealing with a lot right now with being with her, but I don't know, there was never a point where I latched onto any set character. The other thing about this is this probably should have been a series. I know that it was, close to 2 hours and 47 minutes. It felt very long. It felt like this needs to be broken up into chapters long, because that's how I ended up finishing the film. Like I finished it in like a couple different days, because watching it straight out, it's just so much going on and she's doing so much. And it's kind of like if it was cut down, I don't think the movie would flow the same. I mean, you could cut down some of the stuff in the very beginning and just get her where she's supposed to be at. But even with that, I still feel like, no, this probably should have split up. Like, and actually just made it a series. Because if it was a series and they kind of like used like maybe 40 minutes and it's a 3-part miniseries, I think this would have done a killing. Because people would have been like, whoa, what is about to happen now? How is this going to nearly end? Versus all in one sitting, this is just so much. It's so much, and it's such a Debbie Downer that it's not boring, but your eyes start to get glazed over your head. Like, it's kind of like, man, this has been going on for a while kind of thing. And that is a very big no-no in such a powerful performance and great cinematography as this film has. And it's not as though the other actors aren't doing a really good job. Some great scenes from other actors. But it's just the way that this is told. I couldn't get behind it. Like, I was kind of like, this is too much, and I don't even want to finish it. That I contemplated, like, if I was watching this in a movie theater, I might have an actual issue. So, that to me is kind of a red flag, and I don't think it's because the pacing was bad. I think it should have been broken up into a serial format. Like, I really do. I think that would have been the best thing for this, but maybe they couldn't actually expand it out into a series. They needed to do it on like just a one set thing through Netflix. But anything else I can think of, I think the score is okay. It worked really strong sometimes, and sometimes it did absolutely nothing, and they relied on actual music. But yeah, I rest this at a 6 to 7 out of 10, maybe a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. I think my gut goes a 6 out of 10, but her performance in the cinematography made me put it at a 7 out of 10. I may go at 6.5 out of 10. for sure with this one. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button, and go and check out Blonde. Is coming out September 28th. Talk to you guys soon. Peace, guys.